Welcome to Leo Days Online. This is where we talk about and draw some super great animals. Today's animal is a reptile. Reptiles are a whole group of animals that have a few things in common. One of the things they have in common is that they all lay eggs. So each reptile lays its own kind of eggs. Reptiles also have either 0 or 4 legs. Most of them have 4 legs, but there are certain slithery ones that have 0 legs. We're not going to talk about one of those today. Reptiles are also all cold-blooded. That means their bodies don't make heat. Like, I'm not a reptile, so my body makes heat. If I put a blanket on me, my body would make heat inside of that blanket and I would stay warm. For reptiles, that doesn't work. Their bodies don't make any heat. So if you put a blanket on top of a lizard, he wouldn't get warm and he wouldn't stay warm. You'd have to have a light over the lizard that shines down on it and makes it warm from the outside. Today's reptile is a turtle. Let me grab it. The kind of turtle this guy is a yellow-bellied slider. He's yellow-bellied because he's got some yellow on the bottom of his shell, and he has a lot of yellow on his neck. Some turtles like this look very similar, except instead of having the yellow stripe on their neck, they have a red stripe on their neck. And those are called red-eared sliders. And they're related to yellow-bellied sliders, but they're not quite the same thing. Well, something that all of the sliders do is they get out of the water. Because these kind of turtles like to live in the water. They spend most of their time in the water. Not like a tortoise that spends most of his time on the land. These guys, these turtles, spend most of their time in the water. But every once in a while they like to get out of the water, get on land, and dry off. They'll get on a nice, beautiful, sunny rock and just lay there. And it feels so good to have the sun shine down, and that warms up their cold-blooded bodies. And they just love the way that that feels. But sometimes people will come by, and people are scary to turtles. And they'll see a person and be like, uh-oh, I don't know if that person's here to hurt me or not. So then they want to hide. And they could kind of pull themselves into their shell, but to be even safer, they'd rather get back in the water. So the way that they'll get in the water is they'll slide. And they'll either slide off of their rock or off of a log and go whoosh, right back into the water. So those are slider turtles. This is a yellow-bellied slider, and there's other ones that are the red-eared sliders, but they're sliders because they slide whoosh, right back into the water. Something I always thought about turtles when I was a kid was that they could leave their shell. Because I saw it in cartoons, kind of like this one. It turns out that's not true at all. I've got a shell here that I want to take a look at. And this is a shell from a turtle that died a long time ago. But we can see from this shell, we can use it to look inside. Inside of the shell, we can see the bones where the shell grew on top of those bones, because the shells are part of the turtle and they can't leave the turtle. Other animals can leave their shell. Turtles, it's just part of them. Almost like our fingernails are part of us. And if we press on our fingernails, we can feel that inside of our finger. If we press on the turtle's shell, he can feel that. He can feel me scratching his back right now, because that's part of him. So the turtles that I have are all turtles that used to belong to somebody else. They were pets that somebody bought at a pet store, and then for whatever reason, they couldn't keep them any longer. They had to get rid of their pet turtle. Sometimes they didn't want it anymore. Sometimes something happened and they just had to get rid of it. And we take in those turtles and give them a new home. The home that we've made for them is this pond. And there's water in it and then land all around the outside of it, so that if the turtles want to, they can climb out of the water and get dried off and warm up. And then when they feel like they should get back in the water, they can just slide right back into the water. Let's review today's facts about reptiles. Do reptiles lay eggs? Yes, yes they do. How many legs do reptiles have? 0 or 4? Are reptiles cold-blooded or warm-blooded? Reptiles are cold-blooded. All right, now it's time to draw a turtle. I'm going to start by making a circle. If you're not great at making circles, that's okay, because I'm not super great at it either. And turtles aren't always a perfect circle, so it doesn't even matter if you're not very good at making your circle. Once you make your first circle, I'm going to put another circle inside of it. It's going to come in just a little bit and be really close to the edge of my first circle, all the way around. I'm going a little slow because I want to be careful and not try to cross my lines. Here we go. Now I need to draw a shape inside of my circles. It starts with a line near the kind of the top part, but not all the way up and not right in the middle. Just a line straight across. And then from that line, I'm going to go down this way and down this way. Oh, my marker's working better now, so I'm going to go back over these lines. And from here, I'm going to make lines that come back in towards the middle a little bit. Then I'm going to connect my lines on the bottom. So I have a shape inside of my circles, and the shape is made out of kind of straight lines. From there, I'm going to make more straight lines, just from the points down to the circle. To this point, to this corner, down to the circle. This point to the circle, to the circle, to the circle, and one more. And this is the shape, the top of my turtle's shell. So I'm looking down at my turtle. Each one of these little pieces are the scoots. Those are the scoots on the turtle's shell. Now I need his head. So I'm going to give him a head that comes out. And if we were looking down from above and we're looking at our turtle, we would probably see his eyes. So I'm going to give him a couple of round eyes. We wouldn't see his mouth right here, so I'm not going to draw his mouth. We might see his feet though. His feet would be sticking out. So if his feet are sticking out, I'm going to have one that comes up this way. There's his leg. And then to make his toes, he's a swimming turtle, so he has fins at the end of his feet that help him swim. And I'm going to draw those by making a bunch of M's at the end of his leg. And then the other side, the same thing. A line and a line, and then some M's to make his toes. On the bottom, same thing. Except I don't think I'm going to do M's here because it'd be upside down, so I'm going to make W's. W, 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 W. And on the other side, same thing. A line and a line. W, 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 W. The only thing he needs now is his tail. I'm going to make a little tail that comes out. I'm going to curve it off to the side a little bit. A lot of times we can't see turtles' tails because they keep them in their shell, but they have tails in there somewhere. How's your turtle? Is your turtle better than my turtle? It probably is. I would love to see pictures of your turtle. If you'd like to send me a picture of your turtle, I would love to see it. Here's how you can send me that picture. Are you a ninja turtle or just a regular turtle?